We left off last time with the death of Peter Gunness. Belle had now killed her second husband. Although an inquest had ruled no foul play, many people were suspicious of both of her husband's deaths. Now, a few months later, a bouncing baby boy has arrived, and Belle, telling everyone she had given birth to Philip Gunness, Peter's son. Welcome to Episode 7, Baby Farm. After Peter Gunness had been buried and things settled down, Belle produced a boy she named Philip Gunness. Neighbors were shocked as they had not known Belle was even pregnant, let alone gave birth to a full-term baby boy. The midwife that Belle had to help her deliver the baby was shocked to see when she arrived that Belle was already up and had a baby, bathed and dressed. Later that afternoon, Jenny had told a neighbor, Catherine Lampum, that her mother had gotten a little baby boy. The neighbor was amazed, though, to see Belle at the cistern out back washing clothes. Mrs. Lampum told Belle she shouldn't be up working. Belle replied back to her, in the old country, they never go to bed after they get a baby. Belle would have been 43 at the time she claimed to have given birth to Philip. Another farm wife, Mrs. Louisa Deaslin, was also astonished, as when she went to see Belle for a visit the following day, she saw Belle in the yard chasing pigs and running around. When Mrs. Deaslin told Belle of her concerns with her being up and working after just giving birth, Belle just shrugged her off. Rumors started around the neighborhood that Belle was too old to have a baby, but also, more concerning, was that Philip looked much older than a fresh newborn baby. Peter Gunness's brother, Gus, was not believing anything the authorities said and knew Belle had killed his brother for his life insurance. He also felt that Belle had killed Peter's 7-month-old daughter, so that's why he stepped in to save Peter's 5-year-old daughter, Swanhild. Gus knew that Peter had taken out $2,500 life insurance policy, naming Swanhild as the beneficiary. Gus wanted to make sure Swanhild received all of it. Gus traveled to LaPorte from Minneapolis to check on Swanhild in the early months of 1903. He found that Swanhild was doing well, but she did miss her family back home. He asked Belle about the life insurance policy for Swanhild, but Belle told him before he died, he turned the insurance policy over to a mining company for purchase of stock, and that Swanhild would be rich one day. When Gus asked to see the stock certificates, Belle could not produce them. Instead, she made a proposition to him that he stay with her and manage the farm. He declined her offer. He later said, quote, "I didn't like her eyes." He stayed at the farm with Swanhild, but had a dreadful unease. In less than a week of his arrival, Gus had taken Swanhild in the night to get her away from Belle. Not knowing then, but he saved her life. Belle woke up the next morning to find no trace of them. Belle Gunness had many ties to Chicago, and with her first husband and her being foster parents, Belle may have been involved in baby farming. Some of the so-called baby farmers treated their children with warm maternal care, but a large number of them choose to be horrible females who sought to maximize their profits by supplying the children with the barest of necessities. Chicago's Assistant Chief Schechter ordered an immediate investigation into the records of all missing persons who had disappeared from the Austin, Illinois area at the time Belle lived there. He was surely convinced that Belle had a connection to an organized gang of trunk murders that dated back to the days that she lived there. An investigation ensued, and Mr. Schechter was convinced that Belle Gunness was in the business of baby farming. Speculation had it this was how she obtained baby Philip, and she wanted it to be known that Peter had another child, so Swanhild could not be the only one to inherit his life insurance money. Do you think Belle would have murdered Swanhild had her Uncle Gus not saved her? Find out more of the story in episode 8 and learn how Belle lured all these men to her farm now that Peter Gunness was dead. Thank you, like and subscribe for more.